What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all safe and you're doing well. In today's video, I kind of wanted to revisit the concept of using stock cabs inside of Helix for a metal tone. Now, I've done a video on this before, but it's been a while, and I wanted to kind of revisit this after watching a buddy of mine, Gerry Trevino's video, and him sharing some of his patches and him getting really good results with a stock cab. So I wanted to go back and see if I could kind of do the same. I know I use Ownhammer IRs a lot in my mixes and my productions, but I know that a lot of people don't want to dive into the world of IRs or are overwhelmed or don't want to spend the extra money. And I understand that because you can get lost in IRs. So like I said, we're going to explore using stock cabs for metal inside of Helix. If you're into guitars, metal riffage, mixing, and everything in between, hit subscribe and follow along. All right, so what I did is, as many of you know, I just released a single. So I took that single and I re-recorded a chunk of it with this particular Helix patch. Again, all stock Helix cabs and everything. So let's listen to that real quick. Cool. So you can tell by these two tracks, I don't have any processing going on the guitars. They're raw. You know, if this were a final project, I would definitely probably get rid of a little bit of that harshness that's going on. But I added that into the patch so that there was some high-end shimmer. Before a bunch of you get butthurt, let's listen to the guitars, various parts soloed. Listen to this part. Cool. Now I know some people will see these guitar tracks, but like,
You did explain the processing you had on the particular guitar track.
dude, these are the melodies, so I don't have those sounding like my rhythms. don't know why I have it duplicated there, but anyway, that's that. Then I have that creepy ambient guitar. And then my bass. Of course I have processing on the bass. But that's not what this video is about. It's about these rhythm tracks. So, that's how these sound in somewhat of a rough mix. I mean, again, these guitar tracks, the rhythm tracks are untouched. I didn't affect them. I would probably roll off some high end if I was going towards a final mix. I don't have anything on my master bus either other than a limiter and restream, which is sending to OBS. So let's see what we're doing in the preset. Okay, so what are we doing? I have the input gate on. The decay is down to 10 milliseconds. And I have adjusted the in Z up to 1 milliohm. Then I have the Scream 808 with the gain set to 0, the tone set to 9, and the level set to 10. Pretty standard, really. Then I'm using the Badunk. I'm sorry to let you guys down. I've been digging that Rev Purple channel, but for this I use the Badunk. The drive is at 4.7, the bass is at 4, the mid is at 4.4, the treble is at 6, the presence is at 8, channel volume 9.5. Master is at 5, depth is at 1, sag, bias, and bias X are all at 5. And then we're splitting evenly into 2 Helix cab blocks. So the first one is, they're both the same cab. It's the 412XXL V30. The top one has the 57 mic, 57 dynamic. We can guess what that is. Distance of 2 inches. Low cut at 80, high cut at 8K. That is default, those cuts. 0% early reflection. The other cab block is, like I said, the same cab but with a different mic. I'm using the 7 dynamic. The distance is at 1 inch. The low cut is at 80 hertz. High cut is at 9.4K. So I did adjust that a little bit. And then I turned up this early reflection to 5%. Just to add a little bit room in the IR. So that's something to play around with and fiddle with to taste. So from there, we go to the Legacy Room Reverb. I like to drop this on just about every tone I make. Kind of par for the course for me. A lot of you guys know that. And literally, this is all default settings aside from the mix. I moved that down to 17%. So if you drop this Legacy Room Reverb and you adjust the mix to taste, those are the settings I'm using. And then I'm going into 2 EQ blocks. The first one is a tilt EQ. The bright is at 6. The center frequency is 800 hertz. And then I'm going into a low and a high shelf. And all I'm doing is boosting 1 dB at 2K and above. So let's turn those off. And this is how it sounds. Now let's turn the tilt EQ on. Off. On. Just tighten up that low end a little bit. And then we'll add the low and high shelf in, which again, we're just boosting 1 dB at 2K and above. So before. So obviously we're getting a little bit of hair and a little bit of harshness, but we're getting some sizzle. So again, this is something that you can probably bypass if you wanted. I do like a little more like sizzle on my guitars, and then I'll kind of tame it in the mix. So this block might not be necessary for some of you. Because quite honestly, it sounds good. Without either of these EQs, it sounds good. Just a little bit of polish is what these EQ blocks are doing. So cool, that's it. I mean, I know I use Ownhammer IRs all the time, and it's still my preference. There's a little bit of like warmth and realism, I think, that a good IR adds to these tones, but I wanted to kind of again do another patch with, you know, the built-in cab blocks, because they do get a bad rap. And I was watching one of my buddies, Gerry Trevino. If you guys don't know Gerry, he's got a great channel, and he does a lot of Helix stuff as well as a lot of originals and some video game covers. He's a cool dude. I saw him sharing some of his patches, and he uses the stock cab block. So, you know, it kind of piqued my interest, and I wanted to kind of do the same thing. So I think I used the same cab he did and kind of started from there and tweaked to taste. He kind of paved the way for me to explore this a little bit more. So you can definitely get away with using the stock cab blocks and get a good result, I think. So that was the whole point of doing all this. All appropriate links down below in the description, including links to my music. And if you dig what I'm putting down, hit subscribe and follow along. Cool. So I hope you guys find that helpful. And I hope that it kind of proves that you can, with a little tweaking, get these stock cabs inside of Helix to sound good. They sound good. Thanks to Gerry for sharing his video and his tones over on his channel, which kind of inspired this video to begin with. A huge thanks to everybody who's supporting me on Patreon and all of my new members here on YouTube. Without your support, none of this would be possible. And if you're looking for other ways to support me and the channel, I do have music available for sale on Bandcamp, and of course it's streaming everywhere music is streamed. Thank you guys for stopping by. Again, I hope everyone's doing well. I hope you guys are safe. I know times are crazy right now. It's crazy. We don't need to dive into it. I hope I'm able to provide you guys with some education when it comes to the Helix and production, and at least for a little while, able to take your mind off everything that's going on. So don't forget to like and subscribe the video. It helps. Leave a comment down below and let me know what you think. Let me know if you have any questions. Don't forget to go visit my buddy Gerry over on his channel and show him some love. Thanks again for stopping by, guys. We'll see you in the next one.